Hey, 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 welcome back to the Virgo Channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for my winner, actually. Hey, forever love. Yep. It's funny because some people don't want to be known like when they get their reading, and other people don't care. It's funny. It's like, and you're like, nope, I'm here for my reading. I don't care. I'm excited. I'm excited too. Oh, it's been so crazy, crazy, crazy. I hope that you're having a good night. Now, for those of you that are new to my channel, just so that you know, I look at everything, but I take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. So even though this is a reading for my winner, but if you landed on this, you're watching it, you'll find that you resonate with parts of it, if not all of it. And the reason why is because you're a magnet of who and what comes into your life. You always get what you need, not what you want. Just karmic mates, we always kind of feel like we want that. And I'm feeling like that for you, forever love. It's so funny. Hi, Diane. Like when you want it, but you don't, you know, we hold on to a cognitive dissonance. So in these readings, it's more about integrating the spiritual lesson. That's really what it is, so that you can shape shift the energy. I want you to know I came straight from the gym, so I look crazy. Don't don't mind the way that I'm looking. Trying to fit it all in. Yeah, like I mean, I don't normally like ask questions. I always thank you. I like to channel, and the reason why is because people have trust issues. And so if I don't ask questions, then whatever the healing protocol is, you're going to be more than willing to do it. See, we always have that inner knowing when we need to do something, but when someone tells you what you have to do, you can't ignore it anymore. See, and then it gets uncomfortable. See, healing doesn't feel good. So I feel like you're right in between places. You're like, I'm over this person, but I'm not. You too, Diane. I'm over this person, but I'm not. It's like, and so something needs to be put in that place of passion. So we have to look and see what is the underlining energy. Yeah, like, and well, and that's the thing, you have a calling for it because of your sensitivity. Your individuality is who you perceive you are when you look in the mirror. So there's the ego self, and then that ego self is where we perceive who we are. It's not really who we are. We base it on where we came from, the homes that we live in, all out exterior things. So the inner healing is all about understanding your inner child wounds and the karmic looping, which is just the same karmic cycle, like your same exact experience that keeps you stuck in a place of limitation. And I feel like you're in between worlds, that you you've done a lot of work, that you're ready to like actually see something, want to see something. And so what happens is that when we're not 100% there, you're still kind of holding on to the past a little bit. So, and I'm feeling that right off the bat, meaning like you have done work. So what you would want now is something completely different than what you wanted, and so you look at the first card out is unstructured. So there's a sense of not really knowing, like it doesn't mean that you don't know what you want to do. You know what you want to do. You don't know how to get there. And you don't know how to get there because you're more of a clairsentient person. A clairsentient person is knowing. Now you may say, well, what the hell does that have to do with my relationship? Well, if you're not feeling whole, you're going to attract somebody that actually is fragmented and also doesn't feel whole. So, like I said, you've like a forefront, right? Well, and that's, well, like I said, that's why I'm saying you're also in between phases. That's why, because you've let go, but the new life hasn't emerged yet. So there's a feeling of like again, like holding on to the past because you don't know what your future looks like. And so understand, spirit says, why would you know what anything looks like until you actually get in your body? See, yes, so that's again where your wound is. And understand, until you actually embody a new consciousness of being on your soul's path, you won't be able to like attract anybody of balance into your life. And so this is what has kept you in a place. So you recognizing people that just, they don't have the same, they don't treat you the way that you treat other people, but you haven't found your tribe. So understand there's a grounding issue. Now, I only say unstructured. You say, where did you get all that from unstructured? It means that you need to do it. Clairsentience is to do. You don't know until you do. You have time. You let go of people. But I also believe you need to structurize because I feel a root chakra imbalance. And that is, well, the roots weren't strong, meaning parents, support, and other things. So what you settled for was always less than you deserved because you never recognized what the level it should be. So you'll notice that as you heal, people drop out of your life and things change, but you're supposed to integrate the spiritual lesson. Thank you. Integrate the spiritual lesson, and you're not, because it's almost like you're halfway there and then you're like, fuck it. What? Like I don't know what to do. And so spirit says, be like childlike. It's like the passion for life. Passion for life. You always have to bring it back to, you're down here in physical form to learn and to manifest. You say, what the hell am I learning? Well, God says you should be learning that you're not separate from me through seeing your life through all different perceptions. I'm all knowing. You have spirit, which is that God inside of you. So that God is all knowing. It's omniscience, omnipotent. It's everywhere. It's ubiquitous, including inside of you and inside of every single person. So you're trying to like actually see out of your third eye, but you can't see out of your third eye until you're actually in your body and you're being led. So you're in this place of trying to heal the second chakra, which is your individuality, who you perceive you are. It's like, and saying, I want this, which, better friendships, people like respect when it comes to friendship. So you have to say, well, what got you to a place where you're not being respected? Because we don't want you to create a wall because you'll get the same exact thing, which is now that we got a balance issue. Like, oh, I'm all or nothing. And spirit says you can't do that. It's like, because the relationships won't work out. You'll always get the same thing because the wound isn't really being healed or integrated. You can't continue, you know? So understand what you would have to do is the second chakra, because God says you're not looking at yourself the way I made you. You're looking at yourself still through fragmented pieces. And so your learning process is more on a clairsentient like level. So you would look into the healing arts. And so and you would have to let your spirit lead you. Again, gut, intuition, inner knowing, but you're not focused on really anything or consistent. And so spirit says you have to be consistent It takes a mustard seed. I make that multiply. Be consistent, be consistent. Again, the kingdom of heaven's inside of you. If you can imagine it, you can create it, but you have to embody that energy all the time. Because it's that's no one really knows what they're doing. Everyone's faking it till they make it. Everyone's just trying to figure it out. People act more confident. Experience is what gives people confidence. So, there's a sense of you not having that support because you have to reparent yourself. And you haven't done that. So that first chakra needs to be healed, and that's a better connection to the physical body, the physical world, all physical elements of the physical world, and that means money. And also, you have to say money has no energy except for the energy you give it. That leads you up to the second chakra, which is who does forever love perceive that she is? And what you feel is, I don't really have enough. Again, the lacking, there's like a lacking there where really spirit says, oh, you're actually like have everything that you need. So you have to look at the perceived broken parts of you and say, well, what do you need healing in? And what calls to you? What do you love? What means something to you? Remember, the spirit lives inside your heart. Spirit is God, is love, is the universe. That you can have exactly what you want and transcend the limitations of your mind. But that's only through becoming yourself because the kingdom of heaven's inside of you. So you're not imagining it and you're not embodying it. So what happens is that there's no real passion. There's no unfoldment process. See, when you're putting the energy towards what you love and you're doing it every day, you're becoming the energy vibration of love. Then a path unfolds. There makes a way where there is no way just for you. So no one can copy it, no one can take it. No one can sabotage it. Only you can sabotage it. And how would you sabotage it? Well, emotionally, or not being consistent, not showing up for yourself. So spirit says you have to love yourself first because I live inside of you. And so the number one rule is you have to love yourself first and understand you really have to love yourself because people are going to make you feel bad. They're going to, always, make you feel as if you should, do something for other people. And it's not that you shouldn't help, but if you're not in a place of stability and you're not strong within yourself, so how to get strong within yourself is really, we have to say, money. Hi, Melissa. Like, is money. It's like, and that is not because you're being greedy. That's because you have to say, well, whatever you want to do, it's good to survive. It costs money. So you have to say, well, what is it? And remember, it should be through your passion because then you're not working. You want to work. It's then you're living your bliss. And the living your bliss is more intuitive. It's not logical. It's it's more like you're doing what you love and embodying that energy so that you're then commanding people to treat you a certain way. And that's through how much time, energy, focus, and money you give them. See, you not having enough was always very nice, always very giving. That wasn't the issue, but unfortunately, it's not so much that nice people finish last. It's that people that don't have a lot going on care so much about other people. They go out of their way, they're very courteous. And so it's not that you should be rude, but I feel like you grew up in an environment where it was almost like you weren't allowed to do that. You always had to put like people first to the point that that meant you did without a lot of times. So there needs to be reconditioned because that's a habit. And that's a habit, right? Because it's like how your family was brought up. They were like, you always give to people first. But then what happens is that you began to feel unworthy because no one said, hey, hey, like forever love, it hasn't gotten theirs yet. It's like, but then you looked for that, and so putting yourself first is easier to do when you balanced wise. I'm talking about balance because you'd be all or nothing. So you don't want to be so the other way, like, well, you know what, I know how people are, so I'm gonna, you know, but when you're in your passion doing what you love, it's not just about the work, it's about connecting to other like minded people. It's about learning more and meeting more people. And so your third eye begins to open up. It means that you're really engrossed because how you manifest is to how much love you pour into something. It's not how perfect you are. See, there's an illusion of I need to, like, it needs to be this way, I need to be perfect. You'll never reach perfection. And God says, only I'm perfect. You shoot for excellence because in that excellence, you find your style, your gift of style. That is how things unfold, and that is why you again or have a second chakra in balance. You're like, well, I should kind of know how things are. I kind of need to figure it out. And Spirit says there's a nervousness there. Spirit says only in the now do I give you divine guidance through gut, intuition, inner knowing. Because the kingdom of heaven's inside of you, God's inside of you. You are always co-creating through the thoughts that you think, the emotions that you have. You are always manifesting, whether you know it or not. So you want to embody the energy that you want to become as much as you want to. And sometimes the grounding issue is uncomfortable, especially when for so long you've conditioned yourself to not be as present, as to not be, especially when you didn't get that emotional connection. There's a spiritual block connection to Father. So understand Father is support. Father is, you know, is that it shows that nurturing. So you have to see it, and you see it through the universe. Everything is conspiring to bring you that support because what you realize is that your parents were wounded. Yes, it shows that, like that. So almost felt like love was conditional. Love was conditional, but this person doesn't feel comfortable really in like expressing real vulnerability, but they have no problem expressing their opinion. And so it was a how you were always made to feel. And it's not that that person doesn't love you. They do. It's again, but that people love the way that they know how. So again, that block is it's the child self. And remember, when you're a child, you're even more sensitive. Children and old people are become very sensitive. So as and so, you were sensitive, and he he was difficult, I feel like. And so it made you feel like you couldn't be vulnerable and trust. So understand you can't go back in time, and you're not broken because of it. And understand that Spirit says it's not about a blame game. We just have to tell you where it came from. Otherwise, then you'd be like, I don't know if I want to get up every morning and do yoga. I don't really like feel like doing that shit. I know I don't. But then Spirit says, then you're going to look like an asshole being reactionary all the time, especially for me. Because again, when you grow up with somebody that's mean, and I'm saying you get triggered and then you're like, oh shit, you didn't mean that. Because it's a reaction. Remember, you've been conditioned in an environment where everybody walked on eggshells. And then you're like, I don't know why people don't make, I don't feel comfortable around anybody. I really don't know why, you know. It's like you don't feel comfortable around anybody because you didn't feel comfortable with yourself. And spirit says, I can't have that. I live inside of you. I said you're allowed to, like, yeah, free will, but you, like, you're not, there's consequences because I don't make broken when you're like, well, it's just not really working that well. And spirit says, well, if you got a better connection to the physical body, it would, you know? And that's because that's really what it is. It's like, I also feel like, I feel like you just weren't that that strong within yourself. I also feel like your mom was someone that kind of went along with that difficult dad, that personality. So it's like, though I feel like she tried, it's like you mirrored a lot of how she dealt with them. You know what I mean? So part of that is when we become so overly sensitive to other people's feelings and emotions. And when I do that, it's because what are you doing? You're like tapping into like, is this person going to be in a bad mood now? Are they going to be in a bad mood today? I don't know. I have to watch out. You become hypersensitive. And so the thing is, you leave. Yeah, I know. Which you went along with it, which is what made you feel not safe because you're like, oh, great. Like, it's like I don't have either person because this one's always going to be on this person's side. So, because, yeah, listen, better for him to yell at you than her. And that's what you knew. And that's what she knew too. So that's why you're like, yeah, that's why I feel like people throw me in front of the bus. And it's like, because the child self, that was the energetic imprint, which again, that's the emotion of betrayal. And so, like, listen, I can't, like, really trust you. You're not, it's like, that's, you knew that at a young age. But then what happens is those are the karmic patterns that continue to play out. And it's because you're still holding on to it because there's not enough new life. You have to create new neurological pathways in your mind. Habits, like I said, when you're like reactionary, like, oh, I didn't mean to say that, or I didn't mean to do that. For you, growing up in an environment with where somebody's that way, well, you become the people pleaser. You know what I mean? You become the person. So then the next thing you know, they're like, I need 18,000 cupcakes, baked by tomorrow. And you're offering to do it not because you want to do it, but because you're like, I don't know, I don't know why I offered. It's like it just, and that's a condition. It's like a habit, and that's because it was a survival mechanism. And then what happens is now you're like you're offering, and you're like, I don't want to do this shit. Like, and and then you wind up getting people then that once you taught them how to be one way, you can't train them to see you differently. People are just creatures of habit, and that's why you let go of those friends, because you're at that place where you're like, no, I don't want that. But most people will not treat you that well if you give them time, or like too much time, because they don't value time. So you have to say, well, emotionally, you need to fulfill yourself. And so that's the number one. And you need money to sustain yourself. So with you, there's always like this sense of, I don't really feel comfortable. So Spirit says it's a better connection to the physical body is what you need. Then you need to look into body mind courses. And that it's within the healing arts that you feel most comfortable. The holistic. Why? Because you can't grow up walking on eggshells and not have a sensitive nervous system. It's just the way that it goes because you were conditioned in an environment. And so when little children, are they're walking on eggshells and, asking questions, and they're fearful. They take these habits into other relationships, and then you don't know why. You're like, why do people like not trust me, not trust you, but not value me? And it's because too much for other people and not enough for you. And too much for other people is even caring too much about their feelings. Thank you so much. I'm glad. Well, I mean, they're healing style readings. you know and it's like where spirit says you need to learn, because otherwise you'll think that there's something wrong when there's nothing wrong. It's the fact that you perceive that there's something wrong, that you're holding on to that, instead of being like childlike means just going out into the world and playing. And how do you play? You say, I don't know what calls to me. It's like, and I feel like aromatherapy oils, like doing like hands-on healing, but I feel like for you, you need to heal the body-mind connection. So that's always the path, the what you need, because what you're doing is you're saying, I'm loving myself. I'm showing up for myself. I'm doing what I need to do for myself. And that's, and spirit says, now you're talking. And now what else are you going to do to grow yourself? Networking and connecting to other like-minded people you don't know. So anything that you say, well, I could be a better speaker, go to Toastmasters. It's all about, you know, embodying energies that you need, because how does every master start? As a disaster. So spirit says it's a walk, and when you really care about it, well, why do you care about this? Well, I have a sensitive nervous system and I care about my health, and I see a lot of other people suffer from anxiety and I feel bad for them, so I want to be. That would be you. And it's so because you're like, I like to help people. But the thing is, I don't like to be taken advantage of, and people tend to take advantage because you can't buy your wedding dress at the supermarket. It means like you're in the wrong audience. Like you can't continue to give to people like that are just your friends. Because unfortunately, people don't like themselves enough. So if you're giving too much to a person, then they're like, what's wrong with you? And that's really what it is, when really spirit's saying it's not. Yes, I want to pull cards on your current, about your current romantic relationships. Oh yes. Yes, but understand, unless you fix those things, relationships are not like, you always give too much is what spirit's saying. Because it's like, I feel like it's not that that person doesn't like you. It's like, what is this? A new relationship? Relatively new relationship? Hello? 9 months. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of like a long time for you. Like, I mean, I feel like this person, this person that like is trying to get like support for themselves right now is what is really what I'm feeling. Like trying to focus on money. So do they care about you? Like I feel like obviously they do. What do you want to know about? Because I don't feel like it's a bad relationship. I feel like, that person, but if you wind up not creating enough of your life, and this person is focused so much on their money, and they're, understand, people want to be with people that match their energy. So I'm a healer, so I'm always going to tell you what your spiritual blocks are, and that unless you have specific questions about your relationship. And so spirit is telling you that not just because of in past relationships, that's what happened, is that there's a lot of empty space now, just if you give too much to this current relationship and don't create enough of yourself and pour enough into yourself, then your relationship's not going to work out. Like I said, and that's why spirits always tells me again that that's what I said. It's not a bad relationship. Well, spirit is saying like, well, that spirit is saying to like continue, then that's what you have to do. I feel like you still have to focus on your, on creating yourself more. And that's within your job. As far as your relationship isn't bad. So again, I'm a healer. So unless you have specifics, I don't channel that way. I only focus on, again, the shadows. And that's why I said to you, I said, your relationship isn't bad. It's like you want to know when you're going to get married. That's not, I don't do that because everything changes. And it's not like, in my opinion, it's not an ethical reading. But if you have specific questions, go ahead and ask away because I can answer any question and I can pull cards. But without direction, like for that style reading, you know, I don't do that. So, but I can do tarot, but you have to ask questions. Yes, no. Wondering how he truly feels. Okay, let me get my baby tarot card I have. Let's see. How does he feel about you? Well, I feel like he's focused on like money too. I feel like, you know what? I feel like he's still, like I said, like I said, he's still finding himself. So it's like, yeah, like there's a part of him that I feel like he does have feelings for you, obviously, because we see the Wheel of Fortune here, which is always positive when it's upright. It means that future plans. But then, like I said, I feel like if you weren't really invested in your job and 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 your life, and I know what you're saying, that you're doing it, that it would be a problem. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because I pulled Five of Pentacles right after. And so, like I said, it's like where this person's mind is. Does he think that your potential? Like, yes, definitely. Is this person attracted to you? Yes, definitely. But as a healer, my job is to, again, tell you, and that might be you're not 100% satisfied in your job. You don't like, and maybe you feel like you work a ton, and you're not getting enough back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Divine Protection. So that's why I'm saying it. It's like I said, like you want to know this person's ambitious. This person really does like the care. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Look, Four of Wands, stability. I told you that when you asked me, you were like, it was like I didn't feel nothing with you. I said this is a good relationship. This person is focused on money, and even if you say, well, he makes money, well, he's saving money, he's investing money. This is where this person's mind is at. They're creating like that stability because it doesn't just happen. It happens when you make money and you work with money. And so understand, you want to match that energy. And you match it by, again, getting more into your soul's path, is what Spirit's saying. Like, you're supposed to do it anyway. So it'll bring you money. and that's really what it is. Because then it's like Ace of Cups, emotional growth. But if you didn't do that, like again, it was upside down. So, but like I said, if you do it, it'll be emotional growth because understand this person isn't as emotionally like open. They're not. That would be something that takes a long time. And it's not because of you, it's because of how comfortable he feels. And remember, you grew up in an environment where you already really didn't get that. And so, what Spirit's saying is the only problem, again, for you is that second chakra. But the problem is, could that affect your relationship? Absolutely. Because of this person has a lot of money. See, this is why I don't predict the future, because if I was to read your cards, it would be like you wouldn't like it. You'd stand by, like, okay, like Nine of Wands. So, and then the Wheel of Fortune moving forward. And then again, the Five of Pentacles, which is, would it last? It's like, not if this person didn't think that you could financially be on his wavelength. And you can, just in a different way. Meaning, again, and that's through more of a creative way. And that creative way is, again, within the healing arts, and that's, you need to do it anyway for yourself. Then it's, again, look what we had. It's, again, it came out backwards because, again, the like lack of emotional support. But I'm telling you what you need to do to fix it. That's why, again, the type of readings that I do are what they are. It's, again, because you wouldn't like it. So it's, again, the stability and then the emotional growth, because part of this is the emotional growth for you. And the emotional growth for you is that this person does love you and would completely love you. And be, but what you'd see is he enough to like fill your cup up all the way emotionally? No, no. And would you all of a sudden meet those people that do that now? No, not the way that it is. You're going to meet transitional people right now as you find yourself. That's what you know. And so, it's an uncomfortable space, which would make you want this person to emotionally give you more. And they don't know how to give more because that's the way that they are. And also, their mind is more in like the business savvy. So again, the emotional growth is for you to be like, you know what, I actually get fed from a lot of different aspects. So I'm so busy and so fulfilled within my life that my boyfriend's always asking me to go out because, like, I have a busy schedule. It's like there's a lot of mystery within the relationship because I understand this person is, again, very logical, left brain. So you have to create a lot of mystery, it's the fantasy, and that fantasy is, by you stepping into a better version of yourself that you need for yourself. And yes, the body mind connection could be any that within the healing arts. It's, again, you would be great. You would be a great coach. You would be great, like it within in the body mind thing, because you would need to do it for yourself. And that is transformational for you because, like I said, that's what you feel is like missing. And really, within your relationship, like I said, you part of this guy too is, like I said, very left brain. So I feel like you being like in this high vibrational energy, well, you get a lot of attention now, but you continue to. And that's also part of, when relationships all of a sudden fizzle out. It's not that you want to cheat, but, being attractive and being interactive and busy in your life and feeling good and not expecting as much from this person, like I said, because his unfoldment process in how comfortable emotionally he can give is going to be slower, but he will help you in a lot of other areas, and he's great at a lot of other things. It's not like he's not. So, like I said, the answer is yes if you do those things, but it's up to you. You're your own healer, you know. Did you have any other questions? I mean, yeah, like you're welcome. I know it's a little bit different style of reading, but like I said, if we predict the future, like a lot of times you wouldn't like it. So, and really, there's many different realities that play out at one time. So your level of consciousness depends on what you do. And you have to say, what do you do? Well, you're very nurturing and you're very loving and you're very, understand like that's who you are, and that's good that you are that way, and that's why this person loves you. But remember, like when it's always there and always available, it's like it becomes like, like people take it for granted. And so it's not so much that this person would purposely do that, but this person's still working on their life and their career and filling themselves up, and you wouldn't feel like you were getting enough either. So it's a way that it's damage control. That's all that is. Any other questions? Does anyone else have question? I am contacting the new guy. Yeah, like I mean, like I said, he loves that, but it's like you just don't want it to be like, oh, all the time. Like, because you need for him to give it back. And people are, after a while, they get lazy when it's just there. It's human nature. It's not because the person like it just wants to be that. If people get lazy, we get comfortable, and so it's just a way to also make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You know what I mean? That's the key. So this is, I am contacting the new guy only periodically because I don't want to be too available. My natural inclination is to still to worry he may think I am not interested unless I contact him more. Well, it's again, listen, when a person really likes you, you can't get rid of them. Like it's like we've all had that person that you did not like, that you were like, oh my God, like that they called all the time, no matter how many times you hinted, you know. So, like I said, the worry, I feel like you feel like like if he doesn't really think that you're as available, that he's going to leave. But the truth of the matter is, if you're too available, he'll leave. And so it's not that you should like try and put it to a schedule like, oh, well, every 3 days I'm calling, and at the moon has to be at a certain angle and it has to be. No, it's like if you're really busy in your life, then it's like, and enjoying your life with other things in your life, and then you contact this person when you feel like it, it's like you're not going to be contacting them all the time. It's like it's natural, it's organic. It's like, yeah, I was busy, I hung out with my friends yesterday, or I went here, or I went to a movie, or whatever the hell you did, but you had a life other than that person. The thing is, when someone really likes you, they let you know, even if they're shy, they're going to do it. Now, if the person doesn't like communicate enough with you, then that's making you also feel not really that confident in the relationship, which is why you're like, well, I feel like I just need to be available, but you really don't. And that's your anxiety. Sometimes anxiety can feel like intuition. The difference between anxiety and intuition is intuition comes on randomly and there's a call to action right after. So is that happening? No. What's happening is, oh, I hope that I'm going to be available. What if he calls? What if he calls and I'm not home? Then he's not going to call again, because he's going to think that I'm out with somebody else. It's like, no, that's your fear talking, and that's abandonment talking. And so Spirit says, don't you abandon yourself, because then that person for sure will abandon you. You again have to show confidence that the person's interested. It's gonna happen organically, but you have to keep your mind busy. And because I feel like your mind definitely worries, and you don't have to worry. It's like you don't want to always contact a person either. It's like it should be like equal give and take reciprocity, and understand that in the beginning, hey, maybe someone's shy or they, you know, but they have to be able to communicate. Otherwise then we're playing guessing games, and then we're trying to be a mind reader, and then we're doing, and then before you know it, you're paying so much attention to the other person isn't even paying attention that much to you. It's like, and and the size of the wound is as much as you give. So remember that. That's why you need to give yourself more all the time. And healing doesn't feel good. It's going to feel wrong to do what you normally wouldn't do. Well, I normally always check in. I normally always call. I normally always. Spirit will say, well, what has it gotten you? How far has it gotten you? It's like, it hasn't worked. Let's try something new. It's like, because it's just the anxiety. It's like people are interested, like I said, when someone likes you, you can't get rid of them. It's like the plague. I used to have this guy every freaking day he would call up. It was like every day. And it was this guy, and my mom would always be like, nah, she's not there. Because I'd be like, I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm not here. And so one day he's like, yeah, okay, Miss Schwam, the next time you see Laura, tell her I jumped off a fucking cliff. It was like every day I was dodging this person. It was like the person wasn't getting the hint. I mean, it's like what we do when we really like something. When we really like something, we're like, oh, come on, I really wanted it. It's like, I really wanted that car, or I really wanted that, whatever it is. You're going to be a pain in the ass. Are you going to order another one? Are you going to get another one? When are you going to get another one? Oh, they said that they were going to open up at 8 o'clock in the morning. They just went on sale. I'm the first one at the door. It's, a quarter to 8. It's people know. There's like I said, so you don't have to guess. That's anxiety. And that anxiety will be the downfall of you, because your mind chatter, and then all these different scenarios that would never happen on top of it. So then you're just making yourself crazy, when really it's like, I feel like, Amy, you're a really nice person, to be honest with you. You're like a really nice emotional person, that but it's again, you can't be too nice. It's like people won't respect you, and love without respect doesn't look good. It doesn't. Does anyone have any other questions or anything? I hope it was helpful. Hero. No, if not, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna spend some time with my puppy-loves. Thank you, Forever Love. Thank you for reaching out again. I mean, sorry about, I don't know why. I thought I responded to you. Um, she won back in January. All right, guys. Have a good night. Love you guys. Bye.